That's a big buck. That's wild.
When you draw an antelope tag in Arizona, you're expecting, big things. I was expecting to, have good trophy quality and, potentially take a buck of a lifetime.
We saw a pretty good buck this morning with like 20 does, like quarter mile from camp.
You'll stock on it?
It's gonna have to be stocked because there's not gonna be any sitting water.
Yeah.
You can't believe how muddy it is, dude. Wetter than shit.
My plan was to, hopefully, do a combination of both sitting water and, spot and stock hunting if need be. With the amount of rain and just the amount of standing water, I knew straight away that pretty much the rest of the week was going to be spot and stock or decoy hunting.
That'll do. That'll do.
I'd seen a nice buck. He had a bunch of does with him, and he was relatively close to the main highway. So that first morning, I decided I would just get up and run down the highway and see if I could get a look at him.
Dang. That was fun. It was close. It's like 62 yards.
Is the case with most antelope archery hunts. You can get within range, but it's awfully tough to, get your bow to full draw and then, be able to execute a shot. I'm pulled over just a glass, and I've got a herd of maybe 8 does here, and there's one buck. He's a really nice buck, but it's so flat. There's just very minimal cover. I keep watching these, hoping that they'll kind of dip behind one of these ridges so that I can cut the distance, but I could try to walk out and maybe decoy and just see what happens. Oh, this is a moo cow. I got the wrong pulse. I have a moo cow decoy also.
Maybe the decoy will hold his attention long enough and get close. We're in for a long crawl. He's up. He's looking this way. I think he's gonna come. This might take him a while. He's coming. That's antelope hunting, right? I'll go find the next batch, I guess. Oh. Decoy looks pretty good.
So we just spotted a herd of antelope. I didn't even stop to look to see if there's a buck in the group, but I'm sure there is because it's a bunch of antelope. But that's the plan. I'm going to run down the back side of this and pop over the top and just see what happens. So there's a road right here. Just park right here.
He's a weird looking buck to have so many does. He's got his hook's gonna come up and hook forward. he doesn't really have much for cutters at all. Isn't that what they say though? Weird dudes get all the chicks, right?
You just got to have everything go right to shoot an antelope spot and stock. I mean, absolutely everything has to go perfect. Just keep at it, and one of these times it's going to stick.
I got this cappuccino mix. It's like for a Keurig though. You're supposed to put the cup with the Keurig. It's just like coffee grounds. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, we're getting a little heavy on the grounds towards the bottom. Not great.
It's a little slimy. So much water. Makes it tough for antelope hunting. It's good for antelope, I guess. Doesn't look very big, but he's an antelope. He wasn't very big, but I thought, you know, the odds are in my favor on a younger buck, so I just started working towards him.
I'd love it if this guy would just go past.
There was a guy and his daughter just sitting there on the road watching the whole thing transpire. I don't know, it just kind of ruined the experience for me.
It's always fun when you got somebody that just stops and watches the whole thing.
As a young buck, you could tell that he didn't have a lot of life experience. I think maybe if that guy hadn't come along, I could have probably taken my time, especially when he stopped there. We'll never know.
At this point, I don't think I'll turn down any stock, you know. Any buck will do.
Chorus of cows.
This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the Flagstaff listening area. Hazard, quarter-size hail. Damage to vehicles is expected. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Torrential rainfall is occurring and may lead to flash flooding.
Yeah, I was on my way back to camp in the evening and just pulled over to kind of have a look in that same general area where I stalked that buck the first day, and he was right back there with all of his does.
Just wait for these cars to go by.
And he wasn't too far off the highway, so I decided to just kind of make a stalk to the edge of the fence line and just see what would happen, see if he would get close enough to me to possibly give me a shot.
They're walking right towards us. They've got us pegged. Yeah, I think we just leave them for tomorrow. Hopefully get them in a better position where we can slow play them. That's really the only buck I want to shoot. You gotta be watering at that hole, you know?
I may try to get up super early and run down and set a blind and just set the edge of that water tomorrow. He's a big buck. He's by far the best buck I've seen, so I think I'm going to spend the next day and a half, 2 days trying to kill just him. And there was a water hole that kind of set out in the valley, maybe 3/4 of a mile from where I'd seen him the night before. So I decided, you know, what the heck, I'll throw the blind up on that water hole and just hope that he would come in.
Let's see.
Those are supposed to pop out.
Here's this if I can go.
Fall asleep. I usually let the antelope come in though, so maybe it'll work.
I set that water until probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and at that point I could hear a truck coming, and there was a group of cattlemen that stirred everything up, which is ultimately the reason why I kind of decided to ditch the water hole. I gotta think that they're watering here as close as they've been to this. Maybe they haven't had to because of the weather, but I gotta think those antelope will be thirsty at some point. I took the dirt road back to the main highway where I could look down the valley, and I could see that there were 2 guys out in the flat. One of them had a decoy, and then the other guy was behind him, you know, the hunter. And I could see them working in on this group of antelope. They were probably another 400 or 500 yards out ahead of these guys. I didn't want to mess with their stock, but I thought, you know, there's a good chance that they're going to end up bumping. I think what's going to happen is I think he's going to bump them, and they're going to end up working this way down the valley. So we're just bumped up the road. Gonna drop down and just see if we can get out ahead of him if he pushes them, see if he'll push him past us.
Let's go see what happens.
Just got my tower buzzed.
Oh, these guys are going after him again.
The front kid looks like he's trying to walk like an antelope. Yeah, I heard him back this way.
I think what we ought to do, go up over the ridge, and I think we just slip straight that way.
So after I ran about 1.5 miles, I got into a position where I thought I could cut these antelope off as they were working their way up the backside of this ravine. I saw them before they saw me, and it was unfolding just like I wanted it to.
So close. He had one step to take. I think he took one step and then just held it for 3 seconds. I could have got a shot off. He didn't. I mean, that worked like a champ. That little run put us right in above them. They did just what I thought they would do, was feed up around this cut. They were just kind of working their way around it. I ran right into them, but close only counts in horseshoes.
You know, I still count this as a success. I had a good time, had a fun hunt. That's just the way it goes. I mean, that's hunting, right? That's why you do it. You always like to fill your permits. Sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
You see what's about to happen right here? Peanut butter on a club cracker. Get the f*** out of here, that's amazing. Bam!